Hello, this is librarian Jennifer Bone, and I'm going to show you how to find articles in our JSTOR research database. To find an article there, all we have to do is get to the library website. You can just go to swic.edu, and from this page, hover over Student Services, and then select Library from the drop-down list. When you're on the library page, scroll down to this blue search widget. You'll see that we're on the Articles tab, and it's already pre-selected EBSCO, but there are 4 places you can go to look for articles. We're going to go to the JSTOR database right here. Now, JSTOR stands for Journal Storage, so a lot of these are going to be kind of more historical in nature than you might find in EBSCO. So if you're looking for some depth to your articles, for your articles and your research, this is going to be a great database to use. Now I'm going to type in a topic. I'm going to do birth control. When I get my results list, right now it's showing me about 500,000 articles and items that are available to me that I can look at. Now, just like in EBSCO, some of these are full text and some of them are not. You'll see that as I look at them, I can also identify that some of these are book chapters, some of them are going to be journal articles. So this is a huge list to start with. So I'm going to want to narrow some things down so I don't have to start by looking at all of them. Now first, I might want to just limit to journal articles. So I can see in the Refine Results section on the left side, I have academic content that I can narrow down to. So if I want, I can just say, you know what, I just want to look at journal articles, and I can check the box right here. After I do that, I have 360,000 articles, which is still a huge amount to look at. One other item that you would probably like to set for yourself is you'll see that as you look at the entries where it says journal article and it gives you the title of the article along with where it was published, it'll also give you the date range and the page numbers, but sometimes when you hover over the download PDF, it's unavailable. So it's just like in EBSCO where it's not available full text to you. If this is something that you want, you'd want to contact the librarian. We can get it for you for free. But you'll see some of them are blue, and that means that you have access with our subscription. If you just want to look at the ones that are full text, in the Refine Results column, at the very bottom, which is a strange placement for it, you will see the topic access type. Right now it's defaulting to all content, but I would recommend that you click on content I can access, and what you're telling it is I want full text availability. So if you click on that box, we're going to go down to a much smaller group of articles that you have access to right there, 110,000. Now, like I said earlier, JSTOR is kind of more historical in nature. It has that depth. So as I look at the first article called Birth Control from the American Journal of Nursing, which is a journal that's still published today, this article comes from the year 1918. So this might be your great-great-great-grandma's birth control. And you might know that your great-great-great-grandma had like 13 kids. So maybe the birth control wasn't working so great back then. So there's been great strides. But if you wanted to go back and look at what was being done over 100 years ago, this might be a really interesting article to read. So you can click on the title and it'll give you a little overview a lot of times of the front page. And a lot of times you can kind of preview it this way. But if you want to actually have the article with you, you'll see the download PDF also kind of comes on this next page right here, or you can do the download PDF from the front page. So if you kind of read through it and say, oh, this is perfect, great, you can do your download PDF and then download it to your computer right here. Now they don't have a quick email it to me button. They do have a share button. It doesn't work all that great. So we've tried it before, and a lot of times there's some problems with it. If your email address is not connected to your computer, if you're on a personal computer, it'll work a little bit better. But for what we recommend, I would just download the PDF and then attach it to an email to yourself and save it that way. So it's a little trickier when using that. Again, if you wanted to like just save a link to this particular article, don't use the link at the top in the web address bar. You'll see that there is a stable URL right here, which should take you back to this article. And for the citation, on the front page it said cite this item, and it also identifies it right here. And you can just copy the MLA and take it with you that way. So this is a really interesting database to use. I'm going to go back to the front page. Because not everything in here is going to be available. It is like a shopping mall like EBSCO, but with JSTOR we only have 3 collections in here, and they're a little bit smaller and they're a little bit more historical in nature. Like a lot of the history topics will be covered in here, some education topics, so it just varies a little bit. If you scroll down here, you can always limit by publication date. So if I wanted to get rid of some of these from 1918, I can always limit from maybe 2000 to 2020, and it's going to update that date range for me, but also subject area. It'll tell you how many articles are coinciding with these different areas. So if I wanted to look at birth control and how it relates to African American studies, any that were kind of written in that subject area, I can do that. So if I wanted to get rid of that limit, I can just click right here and remove that limitation, just like that. So my biggest recommendation is clicking on the content I can access so that you're not given those that are just teasers unless you have time to request them from the library. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns about how to use JSTOR, remember you can contact the librarians right here on the library page in the Contact Us link. And what we did to get into JSTOR, we went to the Article tab, moved the dot to JSTOR, and did our topic search right there. Happy researching!